Hello there everyone, this is mine and Starlette's interpersonal assignment on emotions. Hope you guys enjoy. So emotions, what are they and how do they play a role in communication? There are many ways that emotions are vital to communication, and in this assignment it will be discussed from different points in research found. Emotions can be different as well as similar when it comes to communication between two or more people. So during this presentation there are 5 major emotions that will be covered in depth for a better understanding, and we will also get a better understanding of Paul Ekman's theory. As we present to you emotions, please enjoy this PowerPoint presentation. So Paul Ekman's theory of emotion. Here's a little bit about Paul Ekman. He's an American psychologist and professor at the University of California, San Francisco. He was born on February 15, 1934 in Washington, D.C. His theory expressed that human emotions are universal and shared upon different cultures universally, and this universal emotion is shared through facial expressions. So the University of Glasgow and the Institution of Neuroscience and Psychology. So according to the institution, there are 4 primary emotions that are basic and easy to recognize. The institution states that during the study that they conducted in 2014, that anger and disgust shared very similar expressions, and as well as fear and surprise were very similar as well. They based it off being differences of sociologically based and not based on biology. So they believe that there is a universal set of emotions with similar facial expressions. So start off, here's the first emotion, anger. Anger can be expressed by Paul Ekman's theory as well as the Institution of Neuroscience and Psychology of emotions, that we can all have facial expressions, and such expressions are shared with similarities in cultures around the world and as well discussed. But we will further explore and discuss in a later slide. Anger can be expressed as an aggression. According to the American Psychologists Association, it is not always a bad emotion though. Showing anger is an expression of a way of motivation and getting negative emotions out, as opposed of keeping them bottled in. By keeping anger bottled up can lead to overaggression, and often those that do bottle it up attend anger management courses to help release and express it in a healthy manner. An unhealthy management of anger can lead to increased blood pressure, making unclear choices, which can lead to physical and mental harm. The brain plays a major role in all emotions that we as humans use in our everyday lives. So for anger, parts of the prefrontal cortex of the brain is associated with the brain, much like fear is also associated with the prefrontal cortex, but we'll get to that on a later slide. If there has been any damage to the prefrontal cortex of the brain, there will often by injury to the prefrontal cortex, this can often cause individuals to lose control. This is often expressed with having trouble controlling anger and aggression. A man named Phineas Gage, born in July 9, 1823 in Grafton County, New Hampshire, and passed on May 21, 1860 in San Francisco Bay Area, California. He was 36 years old when he passed, but this man lived through a terrible railroad accident. There was an explosion, and a taper and iron was forcefully lodged into the left frontal lobe of his brain. He survived, but as explained earlier, damage to the frontal cortex of the brain caused Phineas Gage emotions to be altered. For Gage, he went from being a hard-working gentleman to a man with obscene gestures and often showed uncontrollable anger. So, sadness. Sadness is often expressed in a positive and negative context in South Korea and the United States during the study of emotions and its facial expressions. Similarities of anger and sadness are among the findings in many studies. Dimorphous expressions are displays of events that express the events of something happening. Such events can cause different expressions. For sadness, it can be displayed as tears, which is the most common expression. This can show signs of relief, it can also even have a tremendous amount of stress that can be displayed as a way of crying or more relaxed, joyous expression. So during the reading of this information, it is stated that facial expressions are not always what the emotion is being showed. For this, when crying or sadness occurs, it can be closely related to relieve others than crying over something that is sad to cause a person to cry. Sadness can closely relate to happiness, relief, anger, not always meaning a way of being sad is about a situation. So, I know we all experience sadness. When, for me, for example, sadness would first occur when my grandparent or my grandma passed away, and we let out tears to show the emotion that we are sad, as opposed to smiling when you're sad. And sadness can be shown in various ways, but the most common way is tears. Happiness. Happiness, as explained earlier in the previous slides, is also related in a way of expression. Happiness is found in the limbic cortex of the brain, as well as the other emotions the bodies produce during different events that we all go through in our daily lives. There are 5 factors that relate to the sense of happiness. These can relate to social relationships, money, culture, positive way of thinking, and as well as a temperament. Happiness, according to Ed Diener, is often taught in the classroom. He states that this is a way to get his students engaged in understanding topics. So, we've all gone through happiness. A common example of happiness is something going your way and you're very happy and you're very joyful and you're just filled with joy and you have a fat smile on your face. Happiness is shown when something triggers your brain to just smile. Happiness and joy is what we experience on a daily basis as well. Instinct. So according to the American Journal of Psychology, all emotions are related to pleasant and unpleasant, which are 2 factors that contribute to the direction in which your emotion can go. This often can be described as a guide to how the emotion will be expressed. This article states that it is helpful to future studies, but hinders to the topic. Physical expressions and bodily changes that occur are hard to establish when it comes to instincts and emotions expressed. So we all gone through fear. Fear is the part of your brain that tells you that you are scared of something. And when you fear something, your body just freezes up. You don't know what to do. As you've seen in movies, when people get frozen when they're in fear, and they just don't know how to think anymore. Like, they don't know how to think straight anymore. Because when you get fear inside of you, or fear inside of your brain, more to say, your instincts are just blank. You don't know what to do anymore. And fear just overtakes your mind. And disgust. The disgust emotional scale. During the research, we came upon a scale for disgust. The disgust emotion scale, often referred as the DES, is used to measure the sensitivity assessment of disgust. Study 1 revealed 5 factors of disgust towards rotting foods, which is 1, blood and death, which is 2, or blood and injection, which is 2, 3 is smells, 4 is mutilation and death, and 5 is small animals. These were also found in the second study that concluded that these factors related to measuring specific anxieties. We've all experienced disgust. When you eat a food that you don't like, you're disgusted. You know, everyone goes through disgust, and there's not much you can do when you're disgusted. But that is the end of our slideshow. We covered the 5 emotions, which will be anger, fear, disgust, joy, and sadness. Hope you guys enjoyed. Here are our references. And this is a little test that we got to see what zone you are in when you're watching this video. Are you blue, which is sick, sad, tired, bored, and moving slowly? Green, which is happy, calm, feeling okay, focused, ready to learn? Or are you yellow, frustrated, worried, silly, wiggly, excited, loss of some control? Or red, mad, angry, mean, yelling, hitting, disgusted, out of control? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you guys.